My name is Eddie. I'm CEO, and we were using Wix, and now we're using Squarespace. For more software reviews, click below. The business problem we're solving is long ago when people had to put together websites look very professional. It was very difficult. Just putting together websites in general required extensive amounts of coding. You had to have an artist, you had to have a great designer. It took a really long time. But there was a class of products these days where you can put together beautiful, professional looking websites very, very quickly. And both Wix and Squarespace fit within this class of products. And we had originally been using Wix as part of it too. For several generations, we'd always been comparing Wix and other competitors in their space. And Wix had a number. I always felt like they were one step behind. They were always playing catch up. So when it came to e-commerce, I felt like they were a little bit behind. When it came to adapting for mobile phones and rendering that in a mobile friendly way, I felt like they were behind too. And Squarespace, I felt like they had better templates. Think their interface is easier to use, and I feel like if their latest innovation is going to happen, Squarespace is going to have it first. So they've always been our go-to first, and their slogan a long time ago used to be called "Build It Beautiful," and I thought that was because they were unique in the way they had their predefined templates. Squarespace is best for building a professional website very quickly without having to have any knowledge of coding or design whatsoever. If you want to build a professional looking website in 15 minutes, you can do that with Squarespace. And I've done that many times over again. And my students have done the same because I teach courses where people with zero coding experience churn out websites very quickly. And Squarespace is phenomenal at doing that. They have a lot of flexibility in the modern era of building e-commerce websites extremely quickly because they can accommodate credit cards and other forms of payment. You can just drag and drop to put everything together. Their templates look amazing. There's so many things that they can capture in a website that used to be requiring extensive knowledge of coding. Yeah, Wix is also part of a class of products that allows people to build websites without coding. So they do have a number of templates and they do have a number of functionality allowed for you to drag and drop without necessarily knowing how to code. They do have some templates and ways to purchase different domain names, and I just don't think they are assembled particularly well in a very clean way. Throughout the history of using Wix, it felt like they were behind on many different things that their competitors were better at. Like they were not as good adapting to being mobile friendly as others. I found some bugs. My students have reported bugs related to Wix, and I just felt like if you're going to spend money on this type of product, you might as well. There are a lot of other solutions out there that I would just choose. Yeah, so when it's like to get started with Squarespace, is you can jump in right away. Everything is extremely intuitive, so you can build a professional looking website within an hour. And I've done that before for review by investors and other people who just complimented the website, even compared to websites that people have coded in the past. So there are people who said, yeah, I spent 12 weeks in a coding boot camp and they put together a buggy site that doesn't look as good as something I put together in 15 minutes from Squarespace. While Wix, you can use that to put together better looking sites than you could code. It's still somewhat professional looking. It's a little bit clunky in how they assemble lots of modern disparate elements of websites these days, being able to accommodate for e-commerce and being mobile friendly and adaptive. It's just not as clean as it would have been if you had used Squarespace. I just felt like assembling the website was not as intuitive either. So in when these products they compete so similarly in the same areas, I would definitely choose Squarespace over Wix. My top considerations when looking for software that can build professional looking websites without writing any code are how intuitive is it to put together? Can I drag and drop and build things that look professional? So professional looking websites is really critical because if it's intuitive and doesn't look very good, you might as well not have built it. And if it looks very good and it's hard to use, you might as well not have built it. And another big important thing is these cases, there are more and more use cases or scenarios in which you have to accommodate with your web software. So payments is a thing that has become more and more important now that they keep adding additional functionality. So that functionality and extensibility that you need within these websites is becoming more and more part of functionality among this core group of products where we can build websites without knowing how to code at all.